Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. We're on Marks today, and him and I are going to have a Cities of Death game using the rules that were presented in Shield of Baal Leviathan. We've got the nice cut-out cards from White Dwarf, not quite as nice as you would hope. We are playing a mission called High Ground today. If I zoom down there, it's High Ground. It uses a table quarters style deployment, which is quite cool, as none of the basic missions do anymore. It has 6 objectives, because basically it's Maelstrom just in a tighter city. So objectives, we have 2 special high ground objectives, one up here and one in this building. They have to be placed in the 2 tallest buildings on the table, which are those 2. And then we have some more objectives down here, one there, one there, one in there. We've got the one that's there, and one over here. They're numbered 1 to 6, as you can imagine. We'll rearrange them so it basically goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down to there. We always have in play, if I can zoom down here, every turn you have this mission objective, which basically means you get D3 victory points if you control the 2 high ground objective points. So the idea is for the mission is you fight over those 2 points, which is quite cool. Every turn you generate 1 additional card as well from the deck. So you don't, if you do load, you don't get any extra. You just add a card to your pile every turn. So you're never going to want to discard because there's no point. Mark and I generally use the rule where you can discard cards that you could never have completed in the game, like neither of us have fortifications here, so we can just throw them away when they come up because they're a bit pointless. But there may not even be any in the special city fight deck, I don't know. You can see all the terrain on the table there. And Mark and I are playing 1,500 points today. Well, I've got 1,500 points. Mark looks like his army's much bigger than mine. Let's see what we got in our forces. I'm continuing to rock out the Blood Angels. They've always been my favourite army, and I'm trying out different types, different archetypes of army each time I play them at the minute. So I've done the kind of like the mass drop pods army, I've done a big jump pack army, I've done kind of like Rhino Razorback spam. So today I've gone for the Land Raiders Mephiston plan. I really want to take Mephiston, and I struggle to take him other than in a Land Raider. I just feel taking him in any other type of transport, other than possibly a Storm Raven, just seems a bit of a waste of his abilities. So I have the man himself in the front there. He is not the Warlord though. The Sanguinary Priest standing next to him is the Warlord, because he has the Veritas Vitae, which is basically a hat which gives you an extra strategic Warlord power. Warlord powers I have rolled up are, I have Stealth and Move, Recover, Ruins. Was quite pleased with that roll. And he also has Infiltrate 3 units plus the Warlord. So that's pretty special. So he can infiltrate most of my army. So I've got that. Mephiston has rolled up Psychic Power-wise. He has Iron Arm and Warp Speed to go with his Sanguine Sword, which gives him Strength 10. So he can get utterly absurd in combat, which is quite nice as well. They are rocking around in a Land Raider Crusader, and they have 7 Terminators with them, 4 Thunderhammer Storm Shield, 3 Lightning Claw. I'm playing the Special Blood Angel formation, which gives you the old Furious Charge, the +1 initiative when charging, so it makes the Lightning Claws pretty boss. For troops, we have Attack Squad there. They have a Melter Gun, a Combi Melter on the Sergeant, and a Heavy Flamer. They are inside a Rhino. I have Cassor the Damned, the guy from the Shield of Baal Deathstorm box. He is a Death Company Dreadnought. The only things that are different about him is he is a troop, so he has objectives secured, and he is a character, which is actually pretty useful for a Dreadnought. You get to challenge out power fists and things, so it makes him quite survivable. He comes with a Melter Gun, and he's got the Blood Talons, and he has the Magna Grapples. He's in a fast attack drop pod. I have 5 Death Company. They've got jump packs, all armed with bolt guns, and one of them has a Thunder Hammer. And then rounding off my force is a little contingent of Legion of the Damned from the Legion of the Damned Codex. You can just take one squad as its own detachment and add them in. They're a classic Team Clueless squad of Melter Gun, Combi Melter, and Multi-Melter. No other upgrades. So that is the forces of the Imperium to fight the evil Xeno which Mark has brought. Let's see.
Did you mention your broken warlord traits?
I mentioned my broken warlord traits. Oh yeah.
Right then guys, this is the Tyranid force arrayed against him. Sorry it's not very painted at the moment, I'm just kind of working my way through sort of new models, etc. Right, start off with then is my Warlord. He's obviously the standard pattern flyer, so he's got the 2 Twin Link Devourers, he's got the Electro Grubs, he's got Old Adversary to give me outflank. My Warlord traits, I can infiltrate him and up to 3 units. And for Psychic Powers, I've rolled Warp Blast and Psychic Scream, so pretty reasonable there. For troops, down here I've got 20 Gaunts, 10 of them with Devourers, and they're going to be outflanking. Down here, I've got 10 normal gaunts, no upgrades. I have a spawner Cryptus with his 8 little buddies. And then I have, back here, I have some deep striking rippers. Another HQ, I've gone for the old Death Leaper because I think he's cool. And then some sort of random hodgepodge. So I've got a Hive Crane, no upgrades. I have a Morlock. I have 3 Zoanthropes and a Neurothrope. They're coming down in a pod. And then I've got a Deep Striking Lictor with no other upgrades.
You join us on deployment where Mark and I have had the weirdest deployment game in the world. So upon reading the rules, we're playing table quarters, and it gives this nice diagram showing that one table quarter goes straight up to the middle there and then across there. And the other diagram is straight up to the middle there and across there. So Mark deployed his termagants here. I deployed my land raider here, 1 inch away. Nothing saying I can't. We had a search around. If anyone's got any reasons we can't, remember this is in the city fight missions in the Shield of Baal Leviathan book. It'd be interesting to know because there's nothing preventing us doing first turn charges because neither of us have infiltrated here. So it would just be nice to know, but we couldn't find anything in the rules. So I've deployed there, Mark has deployed there. The rest of our armies both fully infiltrated. So we rolled off to see who got to infiltrate first. It was me, so I deployed my Rhino intact squad, slap bang in the middle of Mark's deployment zone. So he couldn't deploy anything in his own deployment zone. So then he's put loads of units down here in my deployment zone. So what have you got down here? You've got
Venom. I've got my Flyrant. I've got my Spawner Cryptus.
Yeah,
and I've
Gene
got
Stealers are all down there.
Hive Crane, and then I've got my Death Leaper down here.
Death Leaper is hiding down there. He's very well camouflaged. And what of yours is outflanking and such?
So I have outflanking.
Yep.
Deep striking, in the pod, deep striking.
Good, good. And I have the only other thing I've deployed. I infiltrated my Death Company there. I've got the stealth and move through cover in ruins, which is just amazing, this game. Mark pointed out to me that it gives all my vehicles move through cover as well.
You're panicking at land.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to immobilise my Land Raider as soon as I move it a millimetre, but no. And I have Castle the Damned in his drop pod. I said earlier that he had objective skewered. He only has that if the formation gives it to him. The one I'm using today doesn't, so he's a troop but without objective skewered. He's deep striking in his Land Raider, and my in my drop pod, and my Legion of the Damned are obviously deep striking in as they usually do. So, Mark, you have first turn. I'm going to attempt to steal the initiative.
Yep.
Let's grab ourselves a lucky dice. Everyone, think in your head which dice I'm going to pick and see if you're right. You're right. I'm going for this nice orange one down here. Did anybody get it right? Come on, a 6. Oh yeah, he stole. Let's see if we can continue in this vein. End of Blood Angel turn 1, as I heroically stole the initiative from the evil Xeno breed. I drop podded in with Castor the Damned over here. He did a bit of a daring deep strike, managed to get his drop pod within 3 inches of his objective, which is quite cool. And he sidled out into the ruins, which he has stealth in. Sweet. My Land Raider disgorged its troops into the centre, leaving Mephiston still inside. The reason for that was, this turn I have Garrison Building 4. Which is quite interesting. I haven't looked at any of these to get any idea of what they're like. As you can see from that, score 2 victory points if you control objective marker 4 at the end of 2 of your turns consecutively. So objective marker 4 is this one in the centre. So I put my Terminators on there. My Death Company leapt across here, shot up the Gaunts who are starting to run away. So my Terminators ran 1 inch and spread out so they're controlling that objective. And hopefully being Terminators and Mark only having 1 turn to get over here, I should be able to keep control of that for the end of next turn as well. I decided to open fire on the Hive Tyrant because he's still on the ground, and even though he's in the Venom Throat bubble, he wasn't in a ruin, so didn't get any extra cover save from that. And Mark decided not to jink, because jinking with the Hive Tyrant makes it a pretty useless model. So I opened fire on my Land Raider, only got the Assault Cannon through, but got a couple of wounds which Mark failed both his saves of, so the Hive Tyrant has lost 2 wounds, which is a nice start. Cassor decided that he would attempt to take down the Venom Throat, but he had a 2-up cover save because he's in a ruin, didn't really do anything, and the Stormbolt shots from him and the drop pod didn't cause any casualties either. The Rhino that started in the corner of the board has sprinted over to take control of this tall building. Remember, the objectives that's always in play for both of us, we can score every turn, is if we control both objectives. I could have possibly got my Land Raider into there, but then I'd have put less fire onto the Hive Tyrant, so was uncertain. I decided to go for killing Hive Tyrant, possibly a bad choice, but not a bad first turn for me. Hopefully Mark's little Gaunts over there are going to run off in a moment and give me first blood at the start of Mark's turn.
Right then, guys, end of Tyranid turn 1. An okay-ish kind of turn, really, I suppose. So I had a big problem with this guy being in my deployment zone, but I decided...
Mark, this is my deployment zone.
Sorry. Actually, yeah, okay, true. But I realised it's just I didn't have enough to deal with him. I got quite a reasonable amount of stuff off the board at the moment, so I was just like, do you know what? He's just going to do it. So this guy attempted to run away, didn't get far enough, didn't roll well enough. So I thought, do you know what? If he's going to deal with him, make him run to the corner to get him. These guys are pushing up because this is obviously quite an important objective. This guy done all right. He fired a couple of Templicars down the Land Raider and took a whole point off. I did something sort of slightly snacky. Fly moved up because these guys are running. I managed to get them back into Synapse range. They obviously became fearless, and then
God damn it.
a combination of movement and running has got them back into cover. Fly went cast Psychic Scream. He killed the Terminator. He fired his Haywire template into the Land Raider, took a whole point off, and actually got a penetrating hit, which means it's only snap shooting this turn, which probably means he's shooting at this guy anyway. However, peril, so unfortunately he's now down to 1 wound. So that's quite perilous, really. So that is the end of my turn.
Blood Angel turn 2. It was good and bad. So the simple stuff, first of all, the Legion of the Damned didn't come in because I picked them up and tried to put them on the table without rolling, so that always curses you never to get them in. Over here, the Dreadnought and the Drop Pod fired at the Venom Thrope in the corner. It failed to die, so the Dreadnought had to move back and mop it up. Didn't consolidate very far, so killed the Venom Thrope, semi-useful, and I'm controlling that objective kind of, but I'm well out the way of the fight, which is, I suppose, reasonable for Mark. Other things that happened, the Gene Stealers moved in and taken control of this objective, so the Terminators decided, feck that. So they steamed in there with Mephiston joining them. I only rolled 1 on the Psychic Power dice this turn, so Mephiston only had 4 dice, and Mark dispelled my Iron Arm, or whichever it was I was casting to help me kill. So he charged into combat. Started off by Mark, because he had more initiative than me. He killed all 3 of my Thunderhammers with all his attacks. Then I remembered that I had Feel No Pain from my Priest, and passed all my Feel No Pain saves. I then wiped out his squad with my attacks. So it was looking bad, and then it went really well after that. The Land Raider, because it had to snapfire this turn, backed up all the way to control this central objective and fired all its shots up at the Flying Hive Tyrant. I only got 1 wound onto it, which Mark passed his cover save for, which was a bit annoying, and he hasn't jinked because there's actually a building. We can stick a building back on now, Mark. There's actually a building kind of there. Other things that happened, the Rhino over there steamed forwards 12 inches and took control of this objective because my mission card I drew this round. So I previously had this one here, which is scored 2 VPs if I control objective mark of 4 for 2 turns, which I've now done with the Land Raider. And then I had this one, was if I control the objective closest to Mark's table edge, I get D3 victory points. We measured that that is the closest one to his table edge, so I steamed over there and scored that. So I got loads of VPs this turn. I got 1 for First Blood. I got 2 for controlling this central thing for 2 turns. I got D3 for controlling the 2 highest buildings, which is that one and that one. I rolled a 2, so I got 2 for that. And I got 1 on my D3 for controlling that point over there. So really good. I'm up to 6 victory points at the moment, which is pretty useful. Let's see what Mark can get. Mark really needs his reserves on this turn, and I fear for my Land Raider, Mark's got 3 more Haywire weapons to fire at it.
Right, end of Tyranid turn 2. So reserves were really important, and actually my reserves went pretty well today, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah.
Some overall a decent turn, so let's start from the left to right then. So these guys came on. I got all my Devour shots into range of the Terminators. I did manage to do put about 6 or 7 wounds into Terminators, but on the one save he failed, he made us Feel No Pain. So Feel No Pain is massively saving his bacon. It's say
4 Terminators it's saved now?
Yeah, 4 Terminators, so that's done really well. I had a nice little, I could have got all 4 things on the ground floor down there with my Morlock scattering, but unfortunately, as you can probably tell, he scattered off, so he didn't achieve anything. This guy just kind of ran away, or I haven't ran him, I might run him as well. These guys fired into Marines, which I got out the Rhino, but didn't do anything. This kind of collection, or sorry, these 2 units were kind of the stars of the show, really.
These things were absurdly good.
Yeah, the Neurofolk casting Psychic Power on the Death Company. They've only got leadership 8 and he rolled 13.
Yep.
So he failed all his Feel No Pains and just picked up 5 models. That gave me 5 more warp charges. It gave me more than enough warp charges to fire my warp lance into the Land Raider, which managed to wreck the Land Raider. So that was really, really good for me. This meant this guy was able to fire his 2 sets of Devourers into the Rhino, which I was able to do so, and that scored me 1 objective. I had to kill an enemy unit in the shooting phase, which was good. I also, in addition to that, which was quite good, managed to pin a unit in the shooting phase. which is the Flamer squad as well, more
Yeah,
importantly.
which are about to kill all your gaunts.
So overall, I was quite happy with that. So sort of those two units there really kind of pulled myself together. I didn't find my tentacles; he's just kind of flown on. And in fact, I can't run him off the board. So I keep forgetting the Vector Strike as well. Okay, so yeah, that is the end of my turn. So he's still massively in the lead, 6-1. But we'll see how things go.
Blood Angels, turn 3. So, first of all, my objective this turn was to control objective 4 again, just for the turn this time though, for 1 VP. So I deep struck in the Legion of the Damned just within 3 inches. They scattered first of all, but I re-rolled with their special power and got a nice hit. The Dreadnought is now sprinting towards the action. I'm not sure he'll ever get here. The Terminators decided they had to sortie out of the building they're trying to control because the Morlock is too dangerous to Terminators with its AP2 template. It was a 6-inch charge, but I happily got in there and mushed him. Oh. And mushed him with the Iron Arm cast on Mephiston and then loads of Lightning Claws re-rolling to wound. Over here, these two squads, this one was pinned, which was a bit annoying, and this one spread out. They both ended up firing into the Gaunts, killed 2 to put a leadership test on them. But Mark made his leadership, so he's not running off the board. The Legion of the Damned fired their melter guns to ignore cover up at a Hive Tyrant, hit with 2 melters, it died. So that was Warlord point for myself. So overall, a pretty good turn. I scored 1 point and killed a couple of important units for Mark.
Right, end of Tyranid, turn 3. Unfortunately, both my Gaunt squads failed their instinctive behaviour. This squad has ran off the board. This squad has ran, did some snap into Terminators, and he made another Feel No Pain. The Neurophobia Zone Phobia, they attempted to be boss mode. I rolled a decent amount of Psychic Paralysis. I fired into here, got loads of successes, and then I rolled a 1 to hit. So this meant I had not really enough to put into Legion down. However, combination of fire from this guy, and I've assaulted with my Zone Ropes, has killed 3 Legions down, including the Sergeant. So he's just got the 2 of them left anyway. And I also was able to score D3 points because the Elixir came in and he's holding that objective. And the Rippers are here holding this objective. So for the high ground, I managed to score D3 points. And I'm still... Oh, actually... Oh, no, I'm not secure on that. So, no. So, yeah, just a D3 points for me. And we'll see how it goes.
Blood Angels turn 3, Mark, or turn 4? Turn 4. Yeah, you've had more than... Yeah, definitely turn 4.
Yeah.
I'll start this again. Blood Angels turn 4. So this turn, I basically had to take out this Lictor who's in there, and you can see he's still in there because that's scoring Mark loads of VPs because I had to run out there and didn't get much of a consolidate back last turn. So I ran this guy up. He needed a 10-inch charge, no, an 8-inch charge, not hugely likely, failed it. I'd split Mephiston off from the Terminator, so I got 2 separate rolls. The Terminators needed a 7, failed theirs. Mephiston needed an 11, but he did have Fleet. He's also cast Iron Arm himself, but he only got a 9-inch charge up there, so that guy has survived. Also shot all my guns at him, but he's still up. In here, these guys down here, the ones at the back there, they fired their double melter and threw a crack grenade and some bolters up at this guy. He jinked, but I still did him 3 wounds, then charged in and got 1 more wound with a crack grenade with the loss of 1 Marine. In here, my other squad decided that charging in here was better than staying out there and getting shot by stuff. So they charged in. They're actually 5 Blood Angels charging in with +1 initiative, +1 strength, and an extra attack for charging. I did 3 wounds through the invulnerable save of the Zone Throats, which was quite nice. So that combat, still half and half though, with your save and my save, we're just bitch slapping each other. And other than that, not really anything happened. I got a card that I couldn't really do. I had to basically remove all of Mark's units from every ruin on the board. If I do it, I get D3 + 3 victory points, but that ain't going to happen. Let's see what Mark can get done.
Right, Tyranid turn 4. So basically for this turn I had to make a choice. I drew in this objective. Unfortunately, I had to hold it for 2 turns. So I decided to use my Death Leap because I really need him to do something this game. And he had a 9-inch charge to make down on the Marines here to kind of get involved in the combat. But he failed. Failed the charge. Ripper stayed in here. My Hive Crane, he failed to hit with all his attacks and was killed by the Space Marines.
Yeah, crack grenades are good versus them.
Yeah, down in here I lost a couple more dudes, so I've only got the 2 guys down here. Nix is still alive but didn't do anything. We had a bit of a rules debate. We wasn't sure. Because of their instinctive behaviour, they failed the morale. We're not really sure whether or not they fail another leadership test. Is it to keep running?
Yeah, because they were falling back last turn, so Does that falling back just get cancelled because it was a sign-out one? We had no clue, so we said it didn't because it.
Yeah.
They're shooting against my Feel No Pain squad, so they're not going to do anything, are they?
Yeah, which is exactly what happened. He passed a load of more Feel No Pain.
Killed one dude, Mark.
I killed one dude
with 40 shots.
So basically, the scores on the doors are currently 8 points to Curly, and I was on 5, and I just got a D3, and I think Curly rolled it for me.
Yeah, you're on 4. I rolled a 1 on your D3.
Yeah, so 5 to 8 scores on the doors. We decided to call it there. I probably just don't have enough on the board anymore.
Yeah, I think with that being tied down and you failing the charge with the Death Leaper, I think Mephiston might even be able to get over to that, or the Dreadnought might be able to get to that, and the Terminators will get to and wipe out the Lictor, so then you're not going to be scoring the points from that.
I mean, basically, once you could deny me this, I stopped scoring points.
And then the Terminators just walk across the board and kill you, basically.
That's exactly what's going to happen here, really. Yep. So, yes, so we call it there. Interesting game. We both really, really love the Cities of Death tactical objective. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful.
That's really much more interesting than the normal ones. I think there's the same set of C's objective things.
So basically, there is a third of the deck is C's secure objectives. However, all 3 of them are slightly different.
Yeah, that's it. They're different. Why that isn't different on the normal objective cards, who knows?
So you've got the ones are the normal, just score victory point. The 2s require to hold it an extra couple of turns, and I believe the 3s you get points if you take it off your opponent.
Off the enemy. So much more interesting. Because it just gives you slightly different things to do than just move on, move off. The fact that you have to hold it for 2 turns, I felt was really good.
Yes,
that was much more interesting. Take off an enemy, that encourages you to take them off. Just much better. And the other ones as well. They obviously only really work because a lot of them refer to buildings in them, so you could probably use them in a standard game if you had quite a few buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, really impressed by those. Just a little more thought seems to have gone into them.
Yeah, they are a lot more interesting. We made a slight mistake. I kind of realised I forgot to point it out. All objectives have got to be in buildings. So we erred there. I can't remember.
That wouldn't have made much of a difference. So it's just that one objective.
Yeah. It's just like in case people are watching, so that you know, we have like our 7 fans. We want to make sure we keep as accurate as possible.
Yes, this is it.
So
that, I quite enjoyed the Blood Angels that game. I was impressed by Mephiston. He seemed nice and killy. The Feel No Pain, obviously I was rolling really well on it, so that came across as being really good. But I got the Blood Angels formation again. I really liked the Furious Charge. It really helped my 5 tactical Marines charging in with 10 Strength 5, Initiative 5 attacks. Just the 5 basic dudes. It was actually quite a powerful tool to use. So I quite liked them. Land Raider disappointed as usual.
Yeah, I had. It turns out I had enough to deal with it, really, didn't I?
Yeah, you had the Haywire, the 2 units of the Haywire plus the 2 units of the Warp Plants were enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, these guys, the Zone Folks Neurothrones, they performed really well. I really do enjoy that unit. I'm going to keep trying that out and play testing. And my Flyrant. But I think other than that, every other unit kind of didn't do particularly anything.
As usual, the Nid troops were a bit pathetic, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm just going to stop spending points on Nid troops. I think really.
Even that squad putting out. I mean, they were firing at Terminators, so Terminators Feel No Pain, not the best targets, but
worst possible target. Which is a shame because I kind of quite like the horde effect of Nid, but I may have to switch to Gargoyles or something like that. It's just the troops are just so bad. They just don't do enough really.
But when you outflank, you're likely out of synapse is a bit of a problem as well.
Yeah,
this doesn't quite work, do they?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they didn't have the sort of the greatest of targets opportunity and stuff like that. And this game is very, very bizarre due to the setup nature and stuff like
weirdness. I mean, and your Spawn and Cryptus, I rolled really well.
Yeah.
With again the Feel No Pains versus them.
I think we worked out past 6 or 7 Feel No Pains.
Yeah, and I think out of maybe 9.
Yeah.
Can't legislate for that.
Yeah, which is really. I think it really told on this particular combat with the Spawn of Cryptus.
Yeah, because initially you did 3 wounds and killed all 3 of my Thunderhammers, and then I said, "Oh, Feel No Pain." Roll 3 dice, all 3 of them stayed up.
Because I think if I got rid of that, the Spawn would have likely to have held the turn, which would have been important.
Yeah, because that gave me, I think it was only 1 VP because of the D3 roll, but holding a turn really important. Well, I got extra movement out of it and such.
Well, not only that was an objective secured unit as well. Yeah. So I would have had a lot. Could have potentially. I think that turn was actually when I killed these guys off the objective as well. So I think I really could have made a big difference there. But yeah, other than that,
Legion of the Damned were boss as usual.
They're just baller. We just
triple melter Legion.
Team Clueless pattern Legion. Okay, it's not the most original of thinking, but we still like it.
Take some melter and ignore cover unit that can deep strike.
Relentless is your important part. Relentless is really key. So yeah, enjoyable. Really like Scissor Jeffrey. Definitely going to keep playing around a bit.
Yeah, definitely play that again. It'd be interesting. I might go and read some boards to see what they think of the weird deployment. The fact that we started within an inch of each other.
Yeah.
Just seems a bit wrong to me. The old way of setting up used to have the 24-inch or the 12-inch bubble at the centre of the table, which stopped that.
Yeah.
Be interesting. Possibly that might be worth just ruling into the games, but it's definitely not in there. I mean, please, if anyone knows any different, just let us know in the comments below, because we'd quite like to know.
Yeah. Oh, you getting stealth move for cover rules. Oh my god.
Amazing.
Helped your bacon so much. It just gave you so much more mobility.
Yeah. I seen the vehicles moving. I just didn't worry about it. The dreadnought, everything moving basically.
Yeah, you had that mix of infiltrate. Just meant I probably had the speed advantage, and certainly my deployment is innately very, very good at that sort of thing. But you just took that advantage away from me by getting those two traits, really. So
I think if you're not taking Dante in a Blood Angel army, you're going to take the Veritas Vitae, which gives you an extra strategic trait.
It's absolutely superb.
Auto take.
Yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant piece of war gear.
15 points, and that's the best table to roll on.
Yeah, strategic is always baller. So yeah, interesting. We'll have to see. We are thinking about doing the campaign soon as well, aren't we? So
yeah, that's it.
Once we've figured out our kind of lifestyles and stuff like that, so we'll hopefully get the Tyranids more painted up, and we'll see where we go. Cheers, there, guys.
Thanks, everyone.